Oh, the
Canadians will win.
Canadians gonna win. Toronto's gonna win the cup.
No,
Prediction.
no, the Habs will. The Habs win. The Habs.
Habs suck. Toronto.
No, the Habs win.
Clean your nose.
Montreal's gonna win.
Hi.
Montreal's gonna win.
Oh, you did it to my camera again.
If all the young people would please be seated. Okay, normally we have a microphone. Unfortunately, this evening we don't. So it would be greatly appreciated if we could keep the noise just really quiet, because there's going to be some young people speaking after I speak, and for them to be heard by everybody, we'll need cooperation. What I'd like to do at this point is thank you all for coming out. This is our largest gathering of the year, when you as parents get a chance to see how big our family is. I'd like to thank you all for bringing the food that you brought and sharing the good times with us. And I'd like to take a moment now to introduce the different scouters who through the year have made it possible for your children to participate in one of the most active scouting programs in the city. Now when we say scouting, that doesn't mean just the scouts. That means from beavers right through the rovers. And this group goes from the age of 5 to the age of 26. And we happen to be co-ed in all sections. The only section that we don't currently have young women in is our venturer section, and I believe that'll change next year. What I'd like to do is start with Bubbles. She's our primary beaver leader. If she can stand up and stay standing as we go around. And then in the pack we have the Akela, who's Mr. John Bergen. I'd ask John to introduce his fellow cup leaders.
Join us Heidelberg is Brad Sharp. Somebody holler in the kitchen. Who is our new Akela? And Place Lifer is the hero. Clayton Gibbon is the cup leaders take over names out of the stories from the Jungle Book. We are different with our
Then after that we have the scout leaders, and we'll start in the far corner. We have Jerry Moser, if she would stand. Janet Keelan. In the middle here we have Tracy McKay. There are 3 new additions to our scouting team this year. Because we went co-ed, it was only possible because these ladies volunteered their services. Over here we have a longtime scouter, Scouter Larry. Myself, I'm Alan Gardner. And not with us this evening, unfortunately, are the venture advisors, Jim Woods and Peter Stetzel. And if you give everybody a big round of applause. Now this evening, we're going to ask the Cubs to come up on the stage. They have a couple things they would like to do for us. So if all the Cubs would come up this way, please. Go through the side. Occasionally, Scouters move on to new challenges. And tonight, we're saying goodbye to Scouter John Fergus. He stepped down as the Akela, and he's moving on to scouting, or moving on in scouting to a venture advisor's position, we believe, with the Port Arthur Group. Scouter John has been our Akela for 2 years. Sorry about that. This is rather emotional for me because he started our pack up again. Yeah, I'll be okay. And at this time, our Cubs would like to say goodbye to Kim in their own way. So, Scouter John, if you'd come up, please. Yes, we'd like you right up in the middle, please. Okay, come on. We want to live this side. Audience, slow.
And still say it was a great weekend. And still look forward to our next camp out. Scouters are person waits for weeks in the cold with the last child whose parents forgot to drink. A Scouter can lead a song, teach us skill, play a game, perform a ceremony, listen to a hymn, and say a prayer. These things the Scouters praying for help. A Scouter is committed, caring, hardworking, sturdy, strong, and reliable. We know this for sure because he passed our tests. With a wealth of knowledge, a store of skills, and a heart of gold. Scouter gets very little spoken things, but knows the scouting spirit is passed on. We, the 11th Fort William Cubs, want to say thanks for all we shared and learned with you. We'd like to present you with this crown, for you are a king in our hearts. And with this plaque, we hope all your years in scouting are as happy and enjoyable as it has been for us with you. to you. Ryan put the crown on the back.
If I can have your attention again just briefly, we're going to do the going up ceremonies now, and right after that we have some presentations for our scouts. So if we could have the scouts at this end, cubs in the middle, and the beavers at this end, please.
Don't worry, guys. You can move around. Don't mind me.
Back.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You gotta call it loud. Yeah? Bubbles. You have to call it loud.
Riverbanks. Well, your hands are down. Who are we and what do we do?
Beavers, beavers, beavers. Sharing, sharing.
We're gonna let it be open first.
you get him to move off the court? Yeah, give me about, yeah, as much slack as you can get there. Get it behind the kids. Nice.
Okay, what happens in the life of a child or an animal is that they progress. What happens with the beavers is they swim up to cubs, and then the cubs move up to scouts. We have some scouts that are old enough to go on to venturers, but that's going to be a private ceremony on a canoe trip this summer. So this year you won't get to see that. Hopefully in the years to come we will be doing it in front of you.
Welcome, Clifford and Curtis. New chums are cubs that have not quite been invested. As you move up from beavers to cubs, you enter a new program in scouting. Full Cubs is a portion of scouting based upon, as I mentioned earlier, a novel by Rudyard Kipling called The Jungle Book. You'll find that a lot of the principles dealing with the stories are what we follow. One tradition, prior to a cub being invested, which means the cub learns the basics of being a cub, is they're called a new chum. They're not quite a cub yet. At the same time, they're not a beaver anymore either. We put on a white scarf around their neck to symbolize the fact that they are new chums, but that they can partake with the cubs. Lord Baden-Powell spent considerable time in South Africa prior to starting the scouting movement. And at that time in history, a native band called the Zulus were very powerful in the area. In fact, I think they still are very politically active in South Africa. They had a tradition where a boy, prior to a boy becoming a man, he had to go through an initiation period. What they used to do was paint the boy completely white. And he would go off into the bush until the paint was gone. If he survived, he was considered to be a man. The idea of the white scarf is that while the new chums are being taught how to be cubs, they will wear the scarves. Once they've learned their lessons, they know the promise of cubs and how to do the howl, they then are invested as full-fledged cubs and able to partake with the badges. Okay? So we put the white scarves on them to symbolize this. They're sort of in between. Okay? So if you want to move back into the circle, you are now part of the pack. Okay? Three older cubs.
Okay, and take it down. Go down far in there.
Hip hip hooray! Hip hip hooray! Hip hip hooray!
If all the youth would sit down again, we have a couple more presentations. If the Beavers would go up on stage. Part of our leadership development is taking older youth from senior sections. For example, if Robert Sutherland would stand and Eric Gardner would stand. They're two of our venturers who come down and help the scouts learn new skills and show them by example that older people are involved in the movement but still close to their age. If Chris Gallant, Matthew Cummings, and Matthew Sy would also stand. They are scouts that are called Kims, who work with the Cub Hat, and again by example show the Cubs how they can advance in scouting. Now the Beavers tonight are giving an award to Brad DeCourt, and if Brad would come up, he's been our Keo this year with the 11th Beavers, and he's now joining us at the Scout Troop, so we'll have to get a new Keo next year. Scouter Shannon and Scouter Larry up here with their patrol for a moment.
Don't duck, don't duck.
What we try and do every year is at this time of the year let each scout know that they've made an impression on us as leaders and on their fellow scouts. And we try and give them a certificate to remember that by and to guide them in the future. So the first person we'd like to come forward tonight is Robert Lewis. And to Robert, we've given him a certificate saying, outstanding in your field. And basically, what it's for is the fact that he is our most improved scout this year. The next award is for a scout who has helped us to make co-ed scouting successful. And the award is out on a limb because we went and took a chance going into co-ed scouting. There was a lot of concerns and fears. And Jeff DeCourt did his best to make it a very successful event here. Part of making co-ed scouting successful is a willingness of the girls and the boys to communicate together. And one of the things that happened this year is one of the girls was very successful in communicating with the boys. So she's been given a certificate of merit recognizing her ability to telephone the boys. So Tara, if you come forward. Over the years, we come across boys and girls who show exceptional ability, and then we have other scouts that come along, and they're always there, they're always plugging, and it's their interest and enthusiasm. And in this case, we have a fellow on his very first camp. We honestly didn't think would continue in scouting. He's now completed 2 years successfully, and that's Shay Simon. And unfortunately, we have 3 scouts from this patrol that weren't able to make it tonight, and we'll give them their certificates at another time. So, Tracy, if you come up with her patrol, please. I've asked your patrol to come on. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, this year, because co-ed scouting was new, we were really surprised when the first patrol leader to be elected for this patrol was a young lady. So she's received a certificate this year for most outstanding in her field for leadership potential, and her name is Lori Gardner. Things that we pride ourselves in with this particular group of scouts is their ability to be unique. And Stefan, as you can see, has a unique hairstyle. So we've given him a bad haircut award. But what we're actually recognizing is his resourcefulness and willingness to take a stand. And he's been very outstanding at that this year. The last award we have for this patrol tonight is called a Cheerfulness Award, and and it's going to Jackie McKay, because even when she cuts herself at a camp, she continues to smile. She's been a tremendous inspiration to all of us. She's worked hard and really helped make Boy Scouting work this year. Now, I have to apologize for the two of us not being in uniform. Scouter Tracy had an accident when she first got here, and unfortunately I didn't get home, so my uniform didn't get here. Okay, if we could have the Moose Patrol up, please, with Scouter Jerry. This particular patrol has most of our older scouts. Most of the fellows in this patrol will go on, hopefully, to venturing in the next year or so. And we'd like to recognize at this time one particular fellow who stayed an extra year in Scouts with us and has shown through his quiet confidence and teamwork that he'll make an excellent venturer next year. So Chris Ron, if you come forward. One of the things we really try as leaders to promote is leadership and the ability for them as scouts to do for themselves. Now this year, for the first time in the 13 years that I've been involved in scouting, a patrol actually managed to do an activity without any help from the leaders. What they did, because this patrol has 3 Kims in it, was the Kims went to a Kim workshop, and at that workshop decided to do an activity at a Cub meeting. So half an hour before the meeting was held, they called the Scout leaders and said, we need this material at the meeting. They did everything else themselves, and they did it extremely well. And I'd like to recognize Matthew Cummings for being the Kim that did that. The other thing we really try and promote in scouting is community service. And the next Kim that's coming forward was our first Kim in this group this year. And it was because of his example that the other 2 Kims were prepared to go forth and do service in the community. So I'd like to recognize Matthew Sai right now for his example in community service. One of the other things we do in scouting is we try and coexist with all the other activities in the community. And some of the activities that take a lot of time are hockey and soccer and other sports-related activities. And over the years, we've been successful in retaining scouts who have been also very active in sports. And one that we have with us this year is Sean Fumerton, and he's been extremely active in hockey, and through that has inspired the rest of us. So we'd like him to come forward and accept an award from Asheville. One of our faults sometimes as leaders is we procrastinate. We put things off until the last minute. But this year, we met a scout who has it down to a science. So we've given him the Procrastinator's Award because he managed to overcome that and get permission to go to CJ this year. So we'd like Doug Porter to come forward and receive his award. this evening. Again, we'd like to thank you all for coming out, and we'll hope to see you again next year.